I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, April the 15th, 2016. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will fly to Moscow next week to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Talks of a Netanyahu-Putin meeting have been circulating for quite some time, and today the Prime Minister's office stated that the meeting would take place this coming Thursday, April the 21st. When the two leaders will tackle several issues, including the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the crisis in Syria. Israel's President Reuven Rivlin visited the Kremlin and met with Putin just under a month ago. Several hundred lawmakers from both sides of the aisle have sent a letter to President Barack Obama urging the White House not to back any United Nations resolutions that would impose upon Israeli-Palestinian peace negotiations. 388 House Republicans and Democrats signed on to the letter that states that U.S. support for a UN Security Council resolution would, quote, dangerously hinder prospects of resuming direct talks between Israel and the Palestinians. It follows reports that the Palestinian Authority was passing around a draft resolution at the Security Council against Israel's policies in the West Bank, and reports that PA President Mahmoud Abbas may put that resolution to a vote when he visits the UN in New York at the end of the month. The letter was spearheaded by Democrat Nita Lowey of New York and Republican Kay Granger of Texas. It further states that the U.S. should, quote, maintain its indispensable role of mediator and refuse to, quote, support counterproductive efforts aimed at imposing a solution. The lawmakers also state that while they share the president's frustration over the lack of progress towards a lasting peace, only the parties themselves can agree to end their conflict through a negotiated resolution. Diplomats from 12 countries, as well as representatives of the Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Baha'i, and Sikh communities across Los Angeles, gathered at the Simon Wiesenthal Center yesterday, together with anti-terrorism experts, to unite in the fight against terror, hate, and extremism. They were joined by LAPD Deputy Chief Michael Downing, who leads the department's Counterterrorism and Criminal Intelligence Bureau. Downing said of the fight against terror and extremism, this isn't a Jewish problem, it's not a Christian problem, it's not a Muslim problem. This is humanity's problem. Associate Dean of the Center, Rabbi Abraham Cooper, who also addressed the gathering, said terrorism is the scourge of our time and is a clear and present danger to people of good faith everywhere. The Hungarian March of the Living Foundation will host their Budapest March this Sunday to remember the victims of the Holocaust. Tens of thousands gathered at last year's event in the city. The march is the largest civic demonstration against racism, anti-Semitism, and neo-Nazi and anti-democratic movements in Hungary. This year's march will feature representatives of the main Hungarian churches, and the main speaker will be the poet and actor who starred in the Oscar-winning film Son of Saul, Giza Rohrig. The March of the Living in Poland, which covers the path leading from Auschwitz to Birkenau, will take place at the beginning of next month on Holocaust Remembrance Day, Yom HaShoah. This past Wednesday, April the 13th, marked 2 years since the shooting attacks at 2 Jewish sites in Overland Park, Kansas, that left 3 people dead. Fraser Glenn Cross, a former Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan, went to the Jewish Community Center in Overland Park and then to the nearby Village Shalom retirement home to kill Jews. He shot and killed 69-year-old William Corcoran, Corcoran's 14-year-old grandson Reed Underwood, and 53-year-old Terry Lamano, none of whom were Jewish. Cross has been sentenced to death for the murders. This week, the victims were remembered and honored with the dedication of a plaque and sculpture at the JCC. The sculpture is 3 stainless steel ripples created by artist Jesse Small to remember the 3 lives lost and to represent the ripples of kindness and love that the families promote with their initiative called 7 Days, which includes activities and programs aimed at embracing diversity and rejecting hate and prejudice. The World Jewish Congress, together with Israel's permanent mission to the United Nations Educational, Social, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, opened a photography exhibit highlighting the Israeli Education Without Borders initiative at UNESCO's headquarters in Paris yesterday. UNESCO Director General Irina Bokova spoke at the event, as did World Jewish Congress CEO Robert Singer and Israeli Ambassador to UNESCO Carmel Shama HaKohen. The initiative is run by the Kav Or Initiative and World Ort in 35 hospitals across Israel. It provides education to children who are hospitalized for more than 3 days, which is mandated by Israeli law. It is open to all children in Israel, Jews and Arabs alike, as well as refugees being treated in Israel from Syria and other countries. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, April the 15th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.